2006. 2006. Sorry. Yes, please.
When the flu virus was first detected, I just thought next door very courageous to state that there was this outbreak. And I think the country took a big hit as a result of doing so. And it's a sign of great courage, I think moral courage to have that kind of attitude. And I think a lot of countries around the world should be very grateful to the stance that the country took on it. Because a lot of countries would have hidden it and pretended it didn't exist.
There's people who think, actually, that legalizing some kind of drugs, soft drugs, wouldn't solve the problem, but would help in this drug dealing thing. What do you think about that? You have a... You've been clean for how long?
About 12 years.
12 years.
I think it's a really difficult issue. I mean, whether or not drugs are effective for people taking them off the table, that's one side of it. But criminalizing people for taking drugs, I think that's more of an issue. And I'm trying to think that they shouldn't be criminalized for it. But
Drug addicts. Drug addicts.
So I don't know if taking drugs is good or bad, but I don't do that. The marijuana wouldn't be in prison for a long period of time. That doesn't seem like a good policy. And these people want to.
There doesn't seem to be any clear idea. Nobody seems to know what to do. Nobody's actually sat down and thought, what's the right thing to do? How do we do this? Nobody knows how to fix it.
What do you think about that? If you have a... I agree, nobody knows what to do with it.
I mean, I've learned something from occasionally smoking cigarettes. They're addictive. That's probably the worst thing you can really hear. I did. I smoked a couple of cigarettes the other night. I can still feel it. And in my voice, it's such a terrible thing to do. I'm just admitting it.
Thank you for admitting it. Yeah.
But you do inhale.
What do you
I don't mean to be glib. It's a serious problem.
I know.
I don't have any answers.
It's an international problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You can't really do it on a national basis.
The issue is to take that problem away, not whether or not drugs are illegal or not, but I think generally a lot of drugs are kind of bad for you, even if it's good. Social movements are what carry the day, not individuals. I never stop being an activist, even when I'm smiling.
Yeah, suddenly we've gotten the method by which politicians make an issue acceptable, popular.
I see myself as a salesman. I sell songs. I sell ideas.
Troublemaker. Particularly religious stuff. We have he's not busy being born, he's busy dying. We certainly are not finished as individuals.
El poder de hacer cada vez es más grande. Nextel. Continuamos.
I got a lot of stick from Edge on George Bush meeting, but you know, George Bush, his program for fighting AIDS is astonishing, and he will spend, it'll get to about $45 billion for, and this, people said it was impossible to work with a Republican, they were all just material-minded and greedy people, and that was not so. And they really knocked it out of the park. And I think it's one of the things President Bush is most proud of in his life and his presidency. He was pretty pleased that I came in and in his tour. I think he was
example, but I think I helped with.
At that moment in time, Bono, I think, had yet to really become recognized as a bona fide political player. And I was very anxious because I felt that he should not sacrifice his credentials as an independent artist, because the artist can stay outside of the meeting, can remain idealistic, can remain an agitator, but once you're in the meeting, then you're a part of the grey, the kind of the business of politics, which is all about compromise and practicality and doing deals. So at that moment in time, I think I was kind of nervous for Bono. But I have to say, he was right. It was the right thing to do for his issues and our issues. And subsequently, probably as a result of how successfully he managed to manage that relationship, I think he now is in this unique position of being respected as an artist, but being also recognized as a political player who has that ability to differentiate between needing to be, outside the meeting protesting and inside the meeting getting the business deals done.
In the end, social movements are what carry the day, not individuals. And I never
We just saw that, for example, in the Middle East.
Right. Yeah. That's the future, not people like me. We're sort of a linked species in evolution. Social movements will rule the day. I never stop being an activist, even when I'm smiling. I'm angry for the people who lose their lives without any good reason. I've met them, I've seen them, and I've seen the looks in the eyes of mothers who know that it is an accident of geography. It is simply an accident. It's where you live. Your latitude and longitude, that decides whether your child will live or die. So I'm always angry. But
It's a death sentence, like the being born.
there's no good reason. There's this poverty that exists now, extreme poverty. I'm not talking about poverty in Ireland. It's poverty, the real brutal, extreme poverty.
Hunger.
That is an aberration. It's in the 21st century. There's no good reason for it. And you can pay for these vaccinations. It costs nothing to vaccinate a child against, like, for instance, like.
But so what is it? What is it? Because then the disease will cost more than the prevention. So why is it?
And how long have you been with us? Do carry on with corporations.
Is it lack of what?
Unfortunately, it's
What
about
is it?
political will. It's purely about what a politician can go to his electorate and sell. And that's where somebody like Bono and celebrities can kind of help. Suddenly we become the method by which politicians make an issue acceptable, popular. They love Bono coming along because he will help to sell this idea to their electorate. Without that cover, they're going to be very careful about wanting to do anything like that.
So I see myself as a salesman. I come from a long line of salespeople on my mother's side, traveling salesmen. And I sell songs, I sell ideas. But I can only do it if I believe in it. I can't sell.
Do you sell hope?
No, you can't sell hope. You can sell ideas, and they might bring hope. So maybe it's enough. Our songs have a lot of hope, and defiance, and joy.
Do you ever get tired or bored of what Bono has to say? Or do you ever say, please, 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 no more trouble. Don't get us into trouble anywhere. That kind of do.
He's always getting us into trouble.
Yeah.
And not only about politics.
What else?
He's the one who has a capital T.
Trouble.
Troublemaker. He is. That's why we love him.
Are you men of faith? All of it.
Yeah.
Religious? To practice?
Not particularly.
No?
No, not particularly religious, but we have a faith. In Ireland, religion ruined our country. My mother was Protestant, my father was Catholic. It wouldn't be unusual anywhere in the world except Ireland. And it certainly made me suspicious of religious dogma. I believe that there's love and logic at the heart of the universe, yes. Do I believe in the Judeo-Christian tradition? Yes, I do. And my view of the world comes from that. And, the Jewish idea, this thing of everyone is equal in God's view. So our religion, I would say, if we have one in this band, is not just an airy-fairy faith. Faith has to become actions. That's important. Or else it becomes some sort of feel-good, bless me club. Actually, I like the sound of that.
Right, it's nice.
Can we have some bless me club?
Are you working on...
Let's do some tree hugging.
Let's do that. Are you working on something, songs? What's next?
Well, we haven't the tour that we'll be back in the studio. We've got some songs that we're working on at the moment.
Which is the best place for you people to be?
The beginning of something.
The beginning of something.
The beginning of a song.
You are working on it?
We feel because we're working on a new album and we're very excited about it. Because we're at the beginning of it. Because you don't know where it's going to come out.
That's great, no? So, do you ever get tired? Have you ever considered retiring?
It's too early for
It's
those
too early,
thoughts, yeah. We still feel we're learning. We still feel we're growing as musicians, as songwriters, as artists. And there's a great quote, I think it's Bob Dylan, which is, "He not busy being born is busy dying." And we certainly are not finished being born as individuals or as a band, for sure.
Bob Dylan.
Any fears?
How long do you have?
We have to really dig deep to find something fresh. And I heard a funny story though. Quincy Jones told me he got a call from Frank Sinatra. I think Frank Sinatra was 70 at the time. He said, "Hugh, it's time to shake up the citizens. We're going back in the studio." Shaking up the citizens. Right.
Shaking up the citizens.
That's what Frank, even Frank thought he was starting a revolution.
I know this was your day also. I really appreciate it. Really, really, thank you very much. You've been so generous. And I want just to make one more question. Bueno, I don't know if there's somebody else in the world who has been in the list for the Nobel Prize 3 times. An Oscar winner, Grammy, Golden Globes. I mean, how do you see yourself? What do you think of yourself? I mean, like, you're an icon for everybody in this century, 20th and 21st century. How do you look to yourself?
I see myself as tall, skinny, intelligent, with a great sense of humor.
And that's it. Thank you so much. Do you ever get jealous of Foro? Because he's tall, handsome, sexy. That's only because of that, you do. What's your leather jacket?
My leather jacket it gets tired and sometimes it likes to, rest.
Okay.